So load management was discussed with the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver. Adam Silver says, load management could be the reason why a lot of players are getting injured. LeBron James feels like a lot of players are being injured because of the short break in between seasons, and he listed several players such as Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard himself, Anthony Davis, and I made a video about this, and I explained this in full detail on LeBron James' positioning, on why so many players are getting injured because they don't get enough rest. If you look at all of those players, the one thing they have in common, they have always been injury prone. Okay, Kyrie Irving has been injured with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, and now with the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant started getting injured, particularly with the Golden State Warriors. He's in and out, fighting that ACL. When you talk about Kawhi Leonard, he always had nagging injuries along the way. Even when he was playing with the San Antonio Spurs, that was one of the reasons why he demanded a trade from the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, and if you look at Anthony Davis hasn't even played a full season for the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know why y'all think all of a sudden he's just going to turn the light switch on. He's going to start playing full and complete seasons with the LA Lakers. A lot of these examples LeBron James is using are players who has always been injured, okay, throughout the bulk of their career. But that's neither here nor there. He wants to tell his side of the story. He feels like make an excuse that NBA players didn't get enough rest time between seasons, and that's one of the reasons why they didn't make it as far as they hoped or they expected to make it when it comes to the NBA playoffs. Okay, Adam Silver feels like it has more to do with load management. He had data behind it, and he feels like it's just too much load management going on in the league. Rob Parker feels like, the best way to eliminate load management, have it affect their stats, where if they take a night off, it'll affect their stats, their averages, as far as their scoring averages, their assists, and, all that stuff. And I told you guys what I feel like the number one issue why so many players are getting injured. Okay, but food for thought. Did y'all know John Stockton, who's not the most athletic point guard, okay? Not the strongest point guard, but he played 18 seasons in the NBA. Karl Malone played 18 to 19 seasons in the NBA, and he was down in the low post, fighting against real power forwards and real centers. Not the power forwards and centers that we have to deal with today, but back in the day, okay? A lot of players back in that era played a multitude of seasons without load management, okay? And I'm not trying to degrade today's athletes, but I've said this in numerous videos. There's a problem in the NBA with all these injuries, and I can point to it simply. I feel like today's players and what they go through in the NBA season, if you look at the scoring, if a team scores 100 points, that's still not enough points. They can possibly lose the game. I've seen a multitude of games where it could be 100 to 114, and that 100-point average, it goes up every single year. Why? Because there's no emphasis on defense. And if you look at the rules, if you hand check, that's an automatic foul. You basically have to stand in front of them, and that's it. You can't hand check them. You can't bump into them. Otherwise, they're going to blow the whistle, okay, in today's NBA. It's just too much scoring, okay? And when you're doing too much scoring, a lot of ligaments is going to take a lot of pounding and a lot of stress, okay? The majority of a lot of these injuries are leg injuries. They're lower body injuries, okay? Like the groin and all. And that's due to them running back and forth trying to score again, okay? Another thing I feel like is a contributing factor to a lot of players being injured. I feel like there's too much perimeter. Well, the emphasis of shooting threes. Okay, not the emphasis of a perimeter shot, not the emphasis of dunking, using your athletic ability, or setting screens for perimeter plays, post plays, slowing the game down. No, the emphasis of the 3-point shot. Okay, because it can be sometimes difficult to defend, and if you're a good 3-point shooting team, you'll probably within a minute's time score 10 or 15 points. Okay, because you're constantly running up the court to set up for a 3-point shot. Okay, I feel like it's way too much scoring, and it's really causing havoc on these NBA bodies. Okay, even though they get the best nutrition, they get the best workouts and exercise regimens. They don't take performance enhancement, but they do take stuff that you just can't get at GNC. Nutrients and things of that nature. Everything's top of the line. They got technology and all that. And these players are getting more injured than the players back in the 90s. Why? Because back in the 90s, the games were much slower. And if a team scored 100 points back in the 90s, that was a lot of points. It was like, man, what happened to the defense? Okay. But now 100 points is just not enough. Okay. So you have to score more. Okay. They're defending less and they're scoring more, and that causes havoc on your body. Okay. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, how does shooting threes cause a lot of problems with NBA bodies? Particularly, a lot of these NBA players are like 6'10", 6'11". Like Kevin Durant is a prime example of, if he was playing back in the 90s, he would be a power forward or a center. Okay, he would not be a 3 or a 2. Okay, he just wouldn't. Okay, they would be demanding him to go down low, get rebounds, get blocks. Okay, we're still going to use your talent as far as you can make your perimeter shots, your free throw shots, your 3-point shots. You're pretty consistent on that. But we're going to put you're a 4 or a 5, and we're going to put you down low. Same way with Anthony Davis. I feel like that's the main culprit of why Anthony Davis can't stay healthy through the regular season, because they utilizes him like a shooter. Okay, the age of the big man is dead. I know that. The days of low post scoring is over with. A center going down low is unheard of in today's NBA. Pause for a second. Pause. But that element of the game is gone. The element of the big man's drafting for a big man is gone. Now we're drafting a big man that can shoot. If you can't shoot, you're not going to survive in today's NBA. If you can't make a consistent perimeter shot, a 3-point shot, or even be consistent at the free throw line, all right, you're going to struggle in today's NBA, in today's climate. And I feel like with all this scoring, and games are not slowing down, they're only speeding up, and everybody's trying to get to 100. Both sides are trying to get to 100. All right. And sometimes 100 points in a game is still ain't enough. So you got to constantly still score. That's causing a lot of problems with the lower body. A lot of ligaments down there are getting stressed out and broken or bruised. And not to mention, players are still going to bump into other players, or roll into other players, or trade the point guard for the Hawks. He shot a shot and he landed on the referee's foot. Okay, you're going to still have those freakish accidents. You're going to still have players bumping into other players or rolling into other players and things of that nature. But on top of that, You got all this scoring going on, and these guys are running back and forth, running back and forth the court, see who can, back and forth on each side to who can score the most. And defense is not the thing about defense is it's not even being talked or discussed. It's not an emphasis on defense. And, in today's era and with these coaches want to be player friendly. They're not going to implement a team to practice more on defense. They really are practicing on what fits and what works with certain players, utilizing their traits, their skill set, their talent, their athleticism. That all this is emphasized more. And what's not being emphasized more, or even taught, is at least team defense or one-on-one defense. It's just defense is the emphasis of defense is a lost art. Low post play is a lost art. Having a center down low is a lost art. But scoring is the new norm, okay? And I feel like a lot of these players are going to get injured, and it's only going to get worse. This is a shortened season, and they're going to go back to their traditional schedule starting off in October. And I guarantee you, the first 2 months of October, you're going to see a string of injuries, okay? So it is unless they change the rules. Or unless a coach stands up and say, look, we're not going to do it this way because it's affecting our bottom line, which is wins and losses. I want my star to play not only in game 1 of the NBA, but also in the NBA Finals, or if we get the opportunity to go to the NBA Finals. So, yeah, that's all I got for this video. That's my little theory. That's my little tinfoil hat type of theory. Pretty sure somebody's going to dispute it, and that's fine. That's why it's my opinion, and you don't have to necessarily agree with everything I say. I understand that. I'm a big boy. But I feel like if you've really been paying attention to a lot of these injuries and where a lot of these injuries are occurring, and what they were doing when they got injured. Yes, there have been injuries where there's been freak accidents, and, things of that nature. But the majority of these injuries are ligament issues, which is they're pulling and tearing their ligaments. And I feel like the bulk of these issues is the emphasis of scoring so much. And when you're on defense, you're supposed to be resting your body and trying to stop the other team. I feel like if they slow the game down, emphasize more of low post scoring, yes, you won't see the high 100-point games, but you'll see a lot of these players play well beyond the regular season into the postseason and into the NBA Finals. Okay, I feel like if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, the reason why the Milwaukee Bucks are in the finals, and people are going to hate what I'm about to say, but they struggled with the Atlanta Hawks until Trey went down, and they struggled with the Brooklyn Nets when James Harden went down and then Kyrie Irving went down. Okay, and there's a reason why they're struggling with the Suns now. If Devin Booker goes down, or if Chris Paul goes down, it might be a series. They might take a couple of games. But it's just a shame that, the only way they're going to win this finals if one of those two players go down. They're praying and hoping that an injury happens with the Phoenix Suns, and they're going to have to adjust. Okay? So, that's all I got to say on this. Guys, tell me what you think. Oh, and I know a lot of people are going to say about the Phoenix Suns. Well, how did the Phoenix Suns get there? Look, I understand the Phoenix Suns beat the Los Angeles Lakers with no Anthony Davis. I'm aware of that, okay? Along the way, players were injured that they played against, okay? But I feel like the Phoenix Suns were still the better team. There's a reason why they were a higher seed than the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay? So take it for wherever you want to take it. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.